The original mountain marathon, or OMM, is not your average race.
There you go, Marcus.
It's a 2-day mountain navigation event held every October in some of the most rugged, remote and challenging terrains the UK has to offer. Teams of 2 must navigate the course set out on a 1 to 40,000 Harvey map, carrying all their own gear, including tent, food and equipment, for an overnight camp. It's about endurance, navigation and teamwork in often unforgiving conditions. This year, the OMM takes place on the 26th and 27th of October 2024 in Glen Artney in the Southern Highlands. The area is known for its steep hills, deep valleys and wild boggy moorlands. The terrain is brutal and the weather can turn in an instant, making it a real test of physical and mental strength.
First summit of the day, fantastic views all round. Apparently a bit of blue sky. I think he's hallucinating, but down here and probably up to the next one now.
There are different courses, each varying in distance and difficulty. We have entered the A course with an expected winner's time of about 11 hours over the 2 days. To prepare, Marcus and I have taken on the Kendrum Skyline today, about 15 kilometres of tough, varied terrain with over 1,000 metres of ascent. We'll be summiting 2 key peaks, Creag Mac Ranaich and Meall and t-Seallaidh. It'll take us about 3.5 hours, and while the distance may not seem massive, the conditions have made it a true test. Right now, visibility is down to 100 metres. The mist is thick, swirling around us, and we can barely make out the route ahead. The wind is cold and sharp, it bites at our faces as we climb. But this is what we need to prepare for. Long hours on our feet, navigating through tough conditions like these. The ground underfoot is typical Scottish Highland terrain, soft, wet and boggy. We're running across tufts of grass, patches of heather and peat bogs.
Go on then, off you go.
Each step sinks in, the ground sucking at our feet, making every stride a battle.
Go on, go for it. And then I'm taking a different route, I think.
It's not just about speed out here, it's about balance, foot placement and conserving energy. The rain from the past few days have left the ground soaked and the bogs are deep.
Oh, get a good run up.
Our feet are already drenched, but at this point, that's the least of our worries. Marcus is just ahead of me, navigating with map in hand. There are no markers, no trails here to guide us. For the first ascent to Creag Mac Ranaich, we followed an old fence line, an ancient rusted reminder of human presence in this wild landscape. But there's no visible trail, just the land rising steadily in front of us. Every few minutes we stop to check our position, scanning for any recognisable features through the mist.
Can you see where we're going? I thought we were going that way.
We make our way steadily up the first summit, Creag Mac Ranaich. It's not a particularly high peak, but the conditions make it feel much tougher. The wind picks up as we climb higher, pushing against us, and the air grows colder. As we reach the top, there's no view, just grey mist all around us. It's a strange feeling, standing on the summit without being able to see the world below. But we pause for a moment, taking a breath, and enjoy the brief sense of accomplishment before heading down again. The descent is tricky, wet, uneven ground and slippery slopes.
Down the gully? No. Do you reckon? No, I reckon out. Well, I would head out to get round the gully.
We pick our way down carefully before heading towards our next climb. The wind has eased and the mist still hangs low around us. There's a moment where we lose the path altogether and we have to stop to get our bearings again. It's easy to feel disorientated when the world around you is just grey mist and the same rugged landscape. The final push is steep and by now my legs are feeling the effort. The OMM demands this kind of endurance. It's not just about running, it's about sustaining a constant, deliberate effort over hours, even when you're tired, wet and cold. Finally, we reach the summit. Again, no views, just the satisfaction of knowing we summited 2 peaks in these conditions.
Down the summit. Fantastic views once down.
On the way down, the conditions remain tough. More wet ground, more peat bogs. We follow the route back down towards Glen Kendrum, the valley below us barely visible through the mist. Our legs are tired, we're soaked through, and there's a sense of quiet accomplishment.
We're finally getting some views. You might just be able to see Lockenhead down there, and across the other side of the glen there's a track, and that's where we're headed.
The Kendrum Skyline might have only taken us 3.5 hours, but it's been the perfect preparation for the OMM. Days like today remind us of why we do this. The OMM isn't just about racing through the mountains, it's about facing the elements, the terrain and the mental challenges of navigating through the unknown. And it's days like this that make the long hours of preparation worthwhile. Out here, in the world, you can't control the weather, the terrain or the challenges ahead. All you can rely on is your skill, your preparation and your teammate. And today, Marcus and I showed that we're ready for whatever the mountains throw at us in Glen Artney.